Slatty, what's going? Hey man, we got that man Trenches News. Lil Durk paid killers testify killing to collect bounty. Before we get in it, make sure you subscribe. Right now, I ain't gonna do too much talking. Let's just get into it.
You want to support me? Go to Nene Marie 37 on IG and purchase a signed copy of my book. That's how you support me. Make sure you smash that like. And follow me on TikTok at Trenches News 383. TikTok at Trenches News 383. Oh, it's your boy Trenches News, and I'm back at y'all with another one. Appreciate all the support. Thanks for everyone who subscribed to the channel. If you ain't subbed to my channel, make sure you do. Make sure you join the membership. Shout out to all my mods and wrenches. Remember, if you got anything extra, I said extra, not food, hygiene, clothes, bag it up, take it outside, and give it to the less fortunate. Remember, we all one step away from being homeless. Mother Nature could come destroy everything, and now you're homeless. So make sure you Let's say back. The kids, the women, the elderly, the neutrons, and civilians. It's Wednesday, y'all. Make sure you keep your head on the swivel. Remember, CPD can't save you or your local police department, so make sure you're aware of your surroundings and know where your kids are. All right, y'all, we talking about Lil Durk. We talking about everybody flipping on him, including his hitmans, including his homies. And we talking about nobody being paid either. Make sure you smash that like button so the video get around. If you got Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch, Facebook, Market, AJ, he hooked it up. Smash that hype button and that like button. All right, y'all, so I know everybody know by now, even the non-believers, that Lil Durk is cooked. He in a lot of trouble. All right, so Lil Durk, in the beginning, man, he should have severed this case. If you want to sever a case, you got to sever your case in the beginning. You can't wait till all the problems and you see everything they got or A for what they got, and then you say, I want to sever my case. Lil Durk should have severed this case in the gate. They had 5 people in jail. They saying that Vonnie brought the mask and the ski mask. They saying Vonnie drove a car. Didi was in one. They saying Boogie and Jam and Brown Eyes and Flocka, they was the only ones on the scene. Soon when Drew Finland was made aware of that, he should have severed their case. Instead, he didn't. And now he waiting to the end to try to sever their case. I want to tell y'all something. You can't sever a case when you all co-defendants. If the judge didn't grant it and your co-defendants say, oh man, I ain't ready for court, I got to get a new lawyer, or I ain't ready for court, I ain't prepared yet to go to trial, and you is a part of that. You is a part of that, and that mean your 4 months speedy trial, 6 months speedy trial, whatever it is in the feds, it don't count no more. It don't count. Y'all stopped it. Not the feds. I've been telling y'all this the whole time, man. Only if y'all listen to me. I told y'all that the feds was ready the whole time. Lil Durk homies them. Once they start seeing that all this other evidence coming out, every time some new evidence come out, they ain't ready. Like Boogie. Boogie ain't got no attorney. Boogie saying that he got to get prepared and everything. So that means that Lil Durk, his got to stop too. Just because he got money, that don't mean that he get to go around them and split trial and all that. Nah, bro. Hey, look, Drew Finland, Brian Steele, and whoever that lady is, man, this is not the state courts. This is not the state courts. This is the feds, man. And I don't think Drew and them realizing that you just can't play ball how you playing ball. Now, Drew been putting in emotions for a year and a half about some lyrics that the feds really didn't care about. If you peeped the game, the feds is like, nah, we ain't inserting individual A, which is Lil Durk, into the Stephon murder case. Not at this time, you know. And then Drew, he went celebrity and started saying, oh yeah, they not charging Lil Durk. He has nothing to do with it. That whole time they was playing Drew. Whole time. Hey, look, the feds would have clearly told them no if they weren't interested in Durk. But they told them not at this time, and then they came back and spanked them with it. Then you got the hitman. I told y'all this. They pleaded guilty to murder for hire. They saying that they did it in order to collect the bounty. So now when you plead guilty, you got to tell the feds everything. I told y'all that. Y'all didn't believe me. So now the hitman telling. Then you got Jam. Jam is a big important piece. Far as the Lil Durk thing, man. Because Jam know Lil Durk. Jam know Lil Durk. He know everything about Lil Durk. Jam know about all the murders because he's a killer. You know what I'm talking about? So when you say the feds ain't got nothing, you got to take all that into consideration. Jam them, the streets. You know what I'm talking about? Jam wanted to clean the streets to get out of jail. He could clean the streets with the feds today if they going off murders. I'm pretty sure Jam know about 200-300 murders, man. All from the young guys who look up to him all the way to the older guys. He could solve something if he wanted to, you know. But to play Jam and not pay him because you listen to Lil Ted is really y'all downfall on everything. Y'all let Lil Ted after $1 million worth of game and all that. You know what I'm talking about? Lil Ted, the money came up missing. Lil Ted blamed Jam because he really wasn't rocking out with Jam how they is, or Lil Ted and them stole the money and they just put it in Durk them ear that Jam did it. So Jam thinking that it's all love, and really when they go on the Lil Pab hit, it wasn't all love because they was doing that to him without knowing that they wasn't gonna pay him, knowing that they wasn't gonna give Flock and them money. You know what I'm talking about? That's why them guys flip. They ain't get paid. Only ones got paid is the OTF members. Them the only ones got paid. Everybody else, they was fanned out. You know what I'm talking about? Except Jam. They just played Jam. When you paying for murders, or if you got people killing for you, bro, there's no getting out of it. There's no, all right, bro, this is our last move, I'm gone. There's no none of that, bro. Y'all locked in for life. Once murder involved and you cross that line of murder, y'all locked in for life. You just can't turn your back, bro, or you gonna go to jail like Durk did. So they played Jam, and then not only they played Jam, you know, you laugh about it on the jail call. And I do believe the feds put out that they let it out. Like they let it out. You know, that audio of Boona and Durk talking about Jam, you know, because the feds are giving that to Jam. They'll feed that to him. Look, you say these your homies, you know, Jam probably up in there, man. Them my homies. I ain't got nothing to say about Smirk. Oh, really? Play this. Oh, yeah, he Jam the informant. The feds got so much stuff, bro, they ain't even let out half of it. They just giving us an eighth. You hear me? They keep stopping. Look, the feds didn't tell us how did Vonnie and Durk get back to where they was going. That's all we need to know. And then a lot of y'all non-believers, y'all believe it then when you find out that Vonnie got on a plane with Lil Durk. Now, it's one thing to go there and say, I ain't know what he was doing and try that move. But if he went to Verizon, went to go and get y'all some more burner phones, got up with you at the crib after the murder, got you burner phones, swapped out the burner phones that you had at first with them before Pab got killed, and then gave you a new phone, because the feds got the number. The feds say they got the number that Banks had before Lil Pab murder, and they got the number that Kavon Grant went to, that gave Durk a burner. You know, so they got them numbers down. I think Vonnie was writing down the codes. You know what I'm talking about? Number 4, they saying he's a lifelong resident of California. You know, I only see one dude up in that video that I can see that's from California, and that's the guy Bruh. And I know Durk is not going to be on a phone call with this man, knowing that this man, because Durk know everybody who cooperating at this point. He know everybody who cooperating. So I know he ain't going to go live for no dude, Bruh, you know, and he did that. And I don't think Bruh will be on no jumper or none of that. So I'm going to X out Bruh too for right now. I'm going to X him out too, you know. But majority of these co-conspirators is Lil Durk homies, the people who he fed and all that. Now, AJ got paid partial money, and he was in jail complaining that they still owed him 50, 60, 70,000. You know what I'm talking about?
Stupid ass little boy.
Marley, the guy Marley, bro. He didn't get a dime, man. He didn't get a dime. So he in jail. He in jail just for going on a hit, thinking that he was gonna get paid.
Stupid.
He ain't get no money. When AJ got paid, AJ cut off his phone on Marley. Never responded no more. Once he got with Durk them, he was saying, "You with Durk them? Make sure you stand on that." That was the last text. That was the last text message. And then AJ did the video shoot with them, and he got locked up. He got locked up, fleeing from a state trooper. He got locked up from fleeing from a state trooper, and he was out 2 days later. None of these guys was paying attention to everybody getting locked up, like the Lil Ted situation. Lil Ted was still around Durk, and he got locked up with a gun, but they ain't know about the body cam. They ain't know that it was going to come out. You know, if Durk would have been seeing it in 2022, they probably would have clipped a couple of these guys. You know what I'm talking about? They probably would have clipped Lil Ted. They probably would have clipped Vonnie. They probably would have clipped all the weak links. but they thought everybody was solid with you. And Durk, he didn't understand that when you got the money and they broke and they ain't got nothing to lose, you getting thrown in a frying pan because you the leader. The fans know, and they know deep down in their hearts that we ain't got the money to even fund this. We ain't got no gas money. We ain't had no jobs or none of that. Who able to put us on planes consistently? Lil Durk. Who able to give us the cars that we ride in? Lil Durk. Who able to house us? Lil Durk. Who able to give us money to go and hunt for the ops, guns, drugs, whatever? Lil Durk is, because he the only one got money, so he stand out like a sore thumb. And that's his problem, bro. Like, he thought these guys was gonna be loyal to him, and all of them basically told him. Bezu and Vine, they been got picked up by ATF. ATF been came to see them when they for the Atlanta shoot, when they got locked up. And the reason why the feds told them to drop it, they brought the track hawk back to Chicago. So they committed a robbery on Weatherspoon, and then after they committed the robbery, shooting them, the attempted murder, they brought the track hawk back across state lines. So once the feds learned that his track hawk was missing, Weatherspoon, they had put out, to the states, hey, we dismissing this. You know what I'm talking about? That's why the states say, oh yeah, we have no evidence to go further. But before that, if you listen to the news clip say that they got 5 cameras and they know Lil Durk was shooting, and then they saying that they got probable cause to move forward. And then a couple of days later, no probable cause to move forward. That's when they should have known that the feds was on them. But Lil Durk, he was moving like a mob boss. And he thought he was untouchable. 4.5 terabytes of evidence, video evidence, digital evidence, social media, all that, right? 4.5. Man, they said 4.5 terabytes, man, is enough evidence, man, to take down the whole Chicago, man. Every block in Chicago, bruh, on everything. So, yeah, on the other end of that, Lil Durk cooked again. But bad paymasters. If you knew Jam stole some money before the Lil Pap hit, Durk should have been a man, a leader, to say, oh, no, don't take him. We done messing with him. Even if you don't just call him. Out of everybody you could have called, you call, hey, send for Jam. Since he played us, send for Jam. So Jam come, do the shooting, and then he don't get no money. And he end up on a jail call with OTF Boona explaining this to Boona that Durk played him. That they played him out the money, that dude and them was scared. Hey, look, just look at the murder for hire shoot. Type up Lil Durk murder for hire. It's going to be the crime scene picture of the gas station for Lil Pop. And you going to see, it's 3 of them, but you going to see 2 guys, they hiding up under each other. You going to see Brown Eyes and Flocka look like they were scared. And Jam got his arm out like he a professional. That's what Jam was talking about. They were scared. When Boona, go back and listen to the Boona audio with Lil Durk when they saying that they played him on everything. Everything will make sense. Everything, I'll make it add up to y'all, man. But as far as me telling y'all that Lil Durk good and Drew and them gonna beat it, now Lil Durk might as well fire Drew and all of them right now. I'll keep Brian Steele just to, I'll keep him just because it's on somebody else's expense. Young Thug and them paid for it, so I'll keep Brian Steele just for the cross-examine. But Drew, he ain't never had no court dates. Every time, I'm talking about the lady, because it's a lady that's going to court for Lil Durk. So Drew, he'll come after he hanging with Playboy Cardi, after he hanging YNW Melly hanging with 100K Track now, he come and ask for the transcripts from the court thing, bro. You supposed to be that. If I'm paying you millions, you fight my case. Now, I don't care about your extras or, they just as good as me. Nah, bro. If I'm paying Drew Finley, you at every court date. You on every motion, man. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's just all backwards to me, man. And I feel like Lil Durk, he crashed out about Vine. He let the public swim and say slide for Vine. And he really went to go and slide. And when he slid with Bezu. And I told y'all Bezu was the driver. Way before this even came out. Bezu was the driver. Viney was in the car. And Durk was the shooter. And now, Viney...
Hey, no way. I don't believe that. If anything, it would probably be the other way around. Durk probably in the passenger seat, watching Bezu shoot. I don't think Lil Durk shooting. I mean, I don't know. Y'all think that nigga Lil Durk was shooting shit? I don't see it.
The public swim and say slide for Von, and he really went to go and slide. And when he slid with Bezu. And I told y'all Bezu was the driver way before this even came out. Bezu was the driver, Vonnie was in the car, and Durk was the shooter. And now Vonnie is here to say that, hey, yes, he did stop. Because we've been shooting at Quando Rondo since Atlanta. Since after Von died. We've been shooting at Quando Rondo and trying to kill him. And that's stalking, bro, because they did it all the way in California too. So Vonnie is a big important piece. Vonnie was on a plane with Lil Durk. Vonnie had Durk credit card to purchase the cards and everything that they needed to kill and get away. And he purchased the hotel room for the killers to stay, all in Lil Durk expense, all on his credit card, you know. And then he flew on the airplane with Lil Durk, you know. And he was in California. And he flew to California with Lil Durk and got the phone call from number 4, who was in California. He got the phone call with Banks. That's what number 4 said. He called Banks and Vonnie. So to say that, oh man, Vonnie ain't got no criminal record. The first 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, Vonnie was breaking down the whole federal time guideline, bro. And he was Xing out something. I cop out the life is 43 minus this, because I ain't got this case, minus this. And he said, inshallah, to his dad that I could get 5 to 7 years with the information that I'm going to tell him. So Vonnie already got it in his mind, like, I'm finna tell him everything I know. Everything I know. See, we just focus on the Lil Pop case, the Atlanta stuff, and all that. Hey, look, man, you got to imagine what these guys know. What Jam them know that they ain't got no picture on locked up with Lil Durk. What did Vonnie say? Well, Vonnie got a picture, but what did he say to just disappear? You know what I'm talking about? Like Jam, he a shooter. And I know Jam know about 100 murders, man, or better, that he could solve. And people still walking around the street, that he could get them arrested. So, you know what I'm talking about? It's like, everybody want out now, man. It's just all bad for Lil Durk. It's all bad for him. The hitman flip. Hitman pleaded guilty to murder for hire, saying that they was paid a bounty, and they did it for a bounty, both of them. They did it to get it from Banks and OTF members. You know, now everybody want to sever their case. Everybody ain't did nothing. You know, when I said it a year and a half ago, hey, look, Durk, sever your case. And everybody was like, why would he sever this case? Because he ain't got nothing to do with what they talking about at the time. The whole time, I know deep down inside, Lil Durk know what's going on. Lil Durk knew that the move was about to happen. Lil Durk was bold. He went on DJ Academics and was talking about it. Talking about a whole war with Youngboy and Quando now. Like, come on, man. We can't keep on playing stupid. We got to call it what it is. I don't hate Lil Durk. I'm just doing my job. He was doing his job when he was bragging about all the people who was dying when he was rapping. If I said, man, why Lil Durk keep on rapping about dead bodies and all this? Y'all make up an excuse for that. But now that I'm getting my money off him, like he monetized of all the individuals that's died. Lil Mark died. Durk was talking about it. He monetized off of it. Duck them. He monetized off of it. Lil JoJo. He monetized off of it. He monetized off a lot of people. So don't complain when I'm monetizing off these guys. You hear me? You know, Lil Durk just thought he was colder than Vonnie them. He thought he was colder than Jam them. I played Jam. That's what Lil Durk said when he was laughing. Vonnie, he thought he was using Vonnie as a puppet the whole time. Vonnie was leaving Blues Clues for the feds the whole time. Vonnie got all the burners. He got all the evidence to say that Lil Durk knew what was going on, man. And they got all the phones. They got 59 phones or however many. They just got too much evidence, man. But, like I said, man, hey, Lil Durk going to ADX, and some of them co-defendants, they going to get about 15 years and they'll be home in 15 years. But Lil Durk ain't coming home.
Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial. Channel 2's anchor Lori Wilson is live near where the shooting happened, near the Varsity, and Lori police say they have video evidence in this case. Topeka APD says they used at least 5 cameras from local businesses, including this BP, as well as from the varsity across the street, in order to build their case against Lil Durk and his co-defendant. On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Durk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
They were hanging out. They went to a studio to make music.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. Police told the judge later that night the victim, Banks, Bennett, and others went to a nightclub, a gas station, and ended up in the parking lot of the varsity. That's when Witherspoon said he was robbed and shot.
He said his chain was snatched off his neck, and he had $30,000 stolen from him, and they stole the vehicle he was driving.
Police say Banks was seen on tape shooting a gun.
You see Mr. Banks' arm out the window firing several shots at the victim, towards the victim.
In this case, police identified the victim as Alex Witherspoon. He's in jail in Chicago. Lil Durk's legal team tells us police arrested him in connection to a shooting at a nightclub in Chicago. On this case, police identified the victim as Alex Witherspoon. He's in jail in Chicago. Lil Durk's legal team tells us police arrested him in connection to a shooting.
Hey, y'all heard that cop loud and clear. He said they used 5 cameras. They seen Banks shooting. And then they just dropped the case out of nowhere, man. And then the guy, Witherspoon, the one who in the video right here, before I started talking, he coming to court. He want a deal too. We all know everybody want a deal, man. Everybody trying to get out of trouble. But that don't mean that the what they talking about ain't the truth, you know. Hey, but I explain everything to y'all and how it go, man. But this the icing on the cake. This next video, man. Make sure y'all enjoy this Trench News. My man is my 9. I hope y'all use y'all manage y'all 9s too.
His real name is Durk Bank, and he is from Chicago. This is his mugshot from Florida, where he was arrested last night and is being held without bond. This comes only hours after 5 people associated with his music business were also accused and taken part in that murder-for-hire plot. Now, the plot targeted rapper Quando Rondo's cousin, who was killed in 2022. Investigators believe it was retaliation for the earlier murder of Chicago rapper King.
A second murder-for-hire plot, this time in Chicago. These are images of the gunman who shot and killed Stefan Mack in 2022. Prosecutors say Mack was outside the Youth Peace Center of Roseland when he was gunned down. The FBI linked the 2 men charged with Mack's murder to Durk using texts and confidential informants. The feds believe this murder was revenge for the death of Lil Durk.
And these 2 guys are firing out of a vehicle. Clearly, this skinny dude isn't this one, so this has to be Bigum's over here. And, yeah, you know, this is how he takes his pictures. You see him on Tinder. He's like, yeah, you know, ladies, I'm single. This is how he looks. This is Marley right here. So Marley is charged with his participation in this killing, right? And Alma Fudd over here is AJ. This would be AJ. Now, we're going to get into AJ, but let's jump into the paperwork real quick, right? The introduction. The government previously moved for use of the entirety of co-defendant Anthony Montgomery Wilson's recorded statements against defendant Preston Powell. Now, Anthony is AJ, Powell is Marley, right? And we're just going to get right into it. By way of this submission, the government proposes that the court allow for the admission of 3 limited excerpts. So they're introducing these 3 things, speaking on this murder, right? And up here it would say, the excerpts simply show that Montgomery Wilson's motivation for killing Mack was to collect a cash bounty that had been put out for Mack's murder by Individual A and his associates with OTF. Individual A is obviously Lil Durk. Now, the first excerpt would state, in this excerpt, AJ explained to the confidential source that the bounty for killing Youngin, which was Mack's nickname, was 70 grand, and that AJ tried to get the amount increased to 90. AJ, next thing you know, that's a dub. Reminds me, we was having a conversation, shorty. Ken told me like shit, he a 70 ball right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna try to get him to go to a 90. We trying to get 90 out of him for this shit. Confidential source. For a motherfucker, AJ. For Youngin. Excerpt 2. In this excerpt, AJ explained to the confidential source that although Individual A, aka Durk, contributed $50,000 to the bounty for killing Mack, AJ only collected a portion of those funds. AJ, look, Jam, this what Jam told Diddy. He told Bondo. Like, Bug, he say, man, Durk gave up 50, shorty. He only paid me a dub, so it's 30 missing. Remind you, I'm locked up. So he's saying Durk gave 50, but he only got paid 20, and 30,000 is missing. And in this excerpt, AJ would explain to the confidential source that he received approximately $40,000 for killing Mack. Confidential source, so altogether you got 35? AJ, 35,000 and then another 5 from JD and them, which they supposed to give me 100, shorty. They really owe me 100,000. These 3 limited excerpts exclusively concern AJ's admissions to the confidential source that he killed Mack to collect a payment that had been offered by Durk and his associates for the murder. The statements were clearly against AJ's interests and are independently corroborated by other evidence. These 3 limited excerpts are highly probative of the 4 higher components of Mack's murder, and their admission would not be unfairly prejudicial to Powell, right? Limited excerpts from AJ's recorded statements to the confidential source provide critical context for those text messages. Now, this is the text. Powell, what's up with OTF? AJ, nothing. Powell, what you mean? They're not paying? AJ, we waiting. He comes up here on the 17th. Powell, alright. Now, on February 17th, 2022, Durk was in Chicago conducting a podcast interview, which AJ attended. That day, Powell texted AJ, stand on that while you with Durk them. The following day, Powell texted AJ, did Durk give you that money? This is very important. Stating that Durk was in Chicago to do a podcast interview. And AJ, who had already killed Mac, showed up. And Marley's telling him, make sure you stand on that. Tell Durk we need that money. Right? So AJ shows up and is supposed to ask Durk for this money, for this killing. And it just so happens the podcast is $1 million worth of game. Now, the paperwork states the interview was conducted on February 22nd. And this interview would drop March 10th, 2022, giving time for editing or whatever else. But this wasn't the only thing recorded that day. Durk's music video, Aha, was also recorded that day in the same studio space, and the interview along with Durk's new song, Aha, would drop on the same day, February 22nd. Now, the funny thing about this, right, is he brought $1 million cash to $1 million worth of game. And apparently, in the background of this video is not only the leader of Mike City, the gang, but AJ, who's a member of Mike City. Now, within the federal paperwork, they would show a picture from the Aha music video, and a man's face would be blurred out. And then obviously, Reddit's gonna do what Reddit's gonna do, but this is supposedly the leader of Mike City. And AJ can be seen in the background of the music video. Stephon Max killer AJ from Mike City was at Lil Durk's Aha music video shoot, the same video that he dropped less than a month after Stephon died, and he was claiming he got back for D-Thang and got someone's folks hit. So again, this whole murder took place because Stephon Mac allegedly had something to do with D-Thang's brother getting killed outside of a club. And then the music video would drop, people would start putting the pieces together, but the feds haven't indicted Durk for this murder. These two guys have been indicted. And these two guys are apparently throwing Durk's name around, or at least AJ is. And the feds looked at everything. So Durk did a podcast interview. AJ was in attendance. While AJ's in attendance, Marley's telling him to press Durk about the fucking money they're owed. Well, there's $1 million.
As I look over everything that Durk facing, the little information that the feds giving out, because they spanking them, but they only putting out a little information. They giving you enough to say, yeah, it's over with. Every time they put out something, we saying it's over with more and more. Like, there's no even argument. Lil Durk, he a prime example of what not to do, man. Y'all get in the comments and let me know what y'all think. I will be dropping more content, so make sure y'all tap in, make sure y'all turn on y'all subscribe button and click all notifications, man. Make sure you go and get life insurance, man. If you got kids out here dissing the dead, claiming hats, woofing on the internet, make sure you go and get them life insurance. It's very important. Hey, shout out to everybody who subscribed to my channel. I appreciate all love, support. Shout out to all my mods and wrenches, man. Make sure you support me. Go and get all my merch. Go and get my book and all that good stuff, man. Shout out to all my mods, everybody who support me, man. Keep working. Hey, anybody could do this. Anybody could achieve it, man. All you got to do is believe, man. Hey, with that being said, make sure y'all go and watch Tyrant Like Father Like Son. It's on Tubi now, man. Tyrant Like Father Like Son is out now on Tubi. Make sure y'all go and follow the series. It's good, man. Shout out to Bodil.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That nigga Durk is cooked. Like, that nigga's a prime example of keeping it real go wrong. Like, y'all ever seen that Dave Chappelle skit when it be like keeping it real goes wrong? It's like, niggas talking about slap Vaughn. Now niggas slap Vaughn. Now he not coming home ever. He's cooked. Like, he slid for Vaughn, got the wrong nigga, and now he's never coming home. Like, Fed time. What that song called? Red Man. They asked me when I be 10 years. Shit, I said Feds. That what Russ said, right? Yeah. They asked me when I'm being 10 years. I said the Feds. That's what Durk said. And Red Man. Murder Man. Shot. How much that? Yeah. That's fine, man. Yeah. I might just go play that motherfucker Red Man right now. He talking about. But anyways, y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah.